Good morning, students. We'll continue with the story about The Little Girl, written by Catherine Mansfield. Up till now, we had done in the story that the girl had told the important speech of father, and now we'll continue with the chapter. Tore them into pieces. Page number 34, paragraph number 5, the last line. Tore them into tiny pieces and stuffed her case and showed it up the fourth side. That night there was a hue and cry in the house. Hue and cry means very angry protest in the house. Father's great speech for the Port Authority had been lost. Rooms were searched, servants questioned. Finally, mother came into Kezia's room. Kezia, I suppose you didn't see some papers on the table in our room. Oh, yes, she said. I tore them up for my surprise. What? Screamed mother. Come straight down to the dining room this instant. So, very important speech was torn by Kezia, but by mistake. And now there was a huge problem in the house. Mother ordered her to come down. Paragraph number 6. And she was dragged down to where father was, pacing to and fro, hand behind his back. Pacing means moving forward and backward. He was in a very angry mood. Well, he said sharply. Mother explained. He stopped and stared at the child. Did you do that? No, 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 she whispered. Mother, go up to her room and fetch down the damn thing. See that the child's put to bed this instant. Now, father was very angry, crying into much to explain. She lay in the shadowed room, watching the evening lights make a sad little pattern on the floor. The father came into the room with a ruler in his hand. I am going to beat you for this, he said. Oh, no, 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 she screamed, hiding under the bed clothes. Now, father was very angry. He came into her room with a ruler. He wanted to punish her because she had done something which was wrong, something she had torn up, and it was an important speech that the father wanted urgently. So she was very much afraid. He pulled them aside. Sit up, he ordered, and hold out your hand. Father said, hold out your hand. You must be taught once and for all not to touch what does not belong to you. Father said, gave her a beating so that she would remember that she should not create the same mistake again. A punishment was given to the poor child, but it was for your birthday, the girl says, because she wanted to prepare something for the birthday gift for the father. By that, she had torn up those speech. Down came the ruler on the little pink palms. She got the beating. Father did not listen to her and gave her the beating. Hours later, with grandmother, had wrapped her in a shawl and rocked her in the rocking chair. The child clung means was sticking to her soft body. Now she was with the grandmother, and the grandmother was trying to make her sleep. What did God make fathers for? See the question. The girl is asking, what did God make fathers for? Because she was very much afraid of the father. and she thought that the father does not love him. She imagined him as a big, huge monster, and now she's asking grandmother. She sobbed, cried, "Here's a clean hanky, darling. Blow your nose. Go to sleep, pet." This is what the grandmother is saying. You will forget all about it in the morning. The grandmother is telling that you better go to sleep. If you sleep in the morning, you will forget. I tried to explain to father, but he was too upset to listen tonight. Grandmother had tried to explain father, but he did not listen because he was very much upset. But the child never forgot. Next time she saw him, she quickly put both hands behind her back, and the red colored flew into her cheek. So she was so much afraid that whenever she saw his father again, she was frightened. She had done nothing wrong. Yet she was so much afraid that whenever she saw the father, she used to put her hand back. She thought that the father would beat her again. The McDonald's now a bit of change. The McDonald's lived next door. There was a family. The McDonald's. They had 5 children. Looking through a gap of the fence, the little girl saw them playing tag. Tag is a game. Running behind in the evening. So the girl was watching, they were the neighbors, and they had 5 children, and they all used to play together. The father with the baby, and the most important thing was that the father also joined the entire family. The father joined with the little children, and there were 5 children, and the father participated in the games, and they all played together. Mao on his shoulder, and there was a small kid that the father carried him on his shoulders. 2 little girls hanging onto his coat pockets ran round and round the flower bed, shaking with laughter. See, this was something which was totally opposite to what Kezia was going through. The father played with the children, laughed, ran behind them, they ran behind them, they played tag. This was almost impossible for Kezia to imagine, and she never had such kind of an experience with the father. Shaking with laughter, and they used to laugh. Once she saw the boy turning to the hose to him, means the water he was throwing through the hose of the pipe, and he tried to catch them laughing at the time, and they all enjoyed running behind there, laughing and having a very good time. Then it was, she decided there were different sorts of father. Very important line. At that time, she understood that she was thinking that fathers, there are lots of different types of father in the world. The McDonald's were some kind of different father. She had a different father, and maybe other fathers were also different. So at that time, up till now, she thought that all the fathers were same, just like her father, a strict man. But there were very gentle ones too. So that time she understood that there were different kinds of sorts of father in the world. Suddenly, one day, mother became ill. Now, once it happened after a few days that Kezia's mother got ill, and she and grandmother went to hospital. Now she was ill. The mother was ill, so she had to be taken to the hospital. So father was to work, had gone to the work. So grandmother went with the mother to the hospital. The little girl was left alone in the house with Alice, the cook. Now, when they went to the hospital, obviously the girl was alone at home. Only they had a cook. That she was also a lady. They had a lady at home. She was Alice, the cook. She used to cook food for them. And when they had visited the hospital, the girl and Alice were alone at the home. That was all right in the daytime. Now, during the day, it was okay because the girl actually did not mind it much, and she passed her time. But while Alice was putting her to bed, now after having the dinner and all, when the girl was ready to go to bed, she grew suddenly afraid, and now she had to go to bed. and mother was not at home. Grandmother was not at home. These were the two people which she was very close to. So nobody was at home. Now it was time to go to bed. What will I do if I have a nightmare? Now the girl was afraid that if I go to bed and at night, during the night time, if I get a nightmare, she asked, I often have nightmares, and then Granny takes me into her bed. I can't stay in the dark. It all gets whispery. See, the girl was afraid now because there was no one at home, only the servant, the cook. And now, if she says that if I go to bed and if I have a nightmare at night, and which she often had, she says she got many times she had nightmares. So I can't stay in the dark. She was very much afraid in the to stay in the dark alone, and she thinks as if somebody is whispering from this corner or that corner, and she used to get very much frightened. So you just and grandmother was also not at home at that time. Only grandmother helped her, so she was also not home during that time. You just go to sleep, child, said Alice. But Alice is telling her, don't worry, you won't get any nightmares. You just go to sleep, pulling off her socks, and don't you scream and wake your poor pa. Now the Alice is telling that you don't shout. If you even get a nightmare, don't shout because your father is sleeping in the next room. Don't wake him up. So obviously the girl was very much afraid of the father. How could she do that? But the same nightmare. But when she went to sleep, that night too, she had the same old nightmare. The butcher with a knife and a rope who came nearer and nearer, smiling that dreadful smile. She had a nightmare always that there was a butcher. Butcher is a person who sells and slaughters animals to for their slaughters them for to sell the meat. So she was afraid of because they have a huge knife with them. So at that time she was very much afraid, and the same nightmare she was having once again. And that butcher used to come to her nearer and nearer, and with a dreadful, a dangerous smile. While she could not move, could only stand still, crying out. And at that time she used to shout, Grandma, Grandma. She woke shivering and shaking all over to see father beside her bed, a candle in his hand. When she woke up, she was frightened, and as she was frightened, she shouted during the night, Grandma, Grandma. But Grandma was not at home. She woke up and she was shaking with fear. But what happened at that time? She saw father who came next to her. Now that was very much surprising with his candle in his hand. What's the matter? He said. The father came and said, what happened? What's the matter? Oh, a butcher, a knife. I want Granny. See, the girl is so much afraid and frightened of the father that when she woke up, father is next to her, standing next to her. Yet, what does the girl say? I want Granny, means I want grandmother. There is a butcher with a huge knife. Actually, it was a dream. Nightmare. It was a bad dream. He blew out the candle, bent down, caught up the child in his arms. See, what did the father do? He bent down, picked the child up in his arm, carrying her along the passage to the big bedroom, and he took the girl to his own bedroom, carried her there. A newspaper was on the bed. He put away the paper, then carefully tugged up the child. See, she took her in his arms. He lay down beside her. And what did he do? He made her sleep on his own bed. And he also slept on the bed, just keeping her beside, half asleep still. Still with the butcher's smile all over her, it seemed. But the girl was still afraid. She was next to her father, but yet the girl was feeling afraid. And she was still imagining that butcher is smiling at her with a huge knife. Same, she crept close to him. So that what did the girl do? She went more close to the father, tugged him, caught him, snuggled her head under his arms, held tight to his shirt. She held the father's shirt very tightly because she was still feeling afraid. And snuggle means moved into a warm and comfortable position, means getting very close tightly, and she was holding father's shirt very tightly. She was very much frightened. Then the dark did not matter. She lay still, but now when she was very close to the father, hugging him, at that time it was dark, but it did not matter to her. Now she was feeling safe and secure in the arms of the father. Here, rub your feet against my feet and get them warm. It was very cold. So the father says, rub your feet. Said father, tired out. She tired out. He slept before the little girl. And what happened when father was making her sleep? Actually, the father felt asleep and she was still awake. The girl was still awake, but the father was tired due to the work, so he felt asleep. The funny feeling came over her. Now she is thinking about her father with a different perspective, and she is thinking of poor father, not so big after all. And now when she has hugged the father, she is close to his heart. At that time she is thinking, poor father, and she used to imagine use giant now previously, but now she thought that he is not that so very big, not at all, and with no one to look after him, and she is imagining that everybody takes care of me, but no one takes care of the father. There is no one who looks after him, and he was he was harder than grandmother. And she was sleeping next to the father holding him. She felt as if father was very hard, but it was a nice hardness, but yet she was feeling safe and secure in his arms, so it felt very nice. And every day he had to work and was too tired to be Mr. McDonald's. Now she's imagining that she's thinking, she's awake, just sleeping in the arms of father, and now she's thinking that he works so hard for me and for the entire family that he even doesn't have time, just like the neighbors, Mr. McDonald's, to play. She had torn up all his beautiful writing, and she had torn father's writing. She is now thinking, she's going into the past and thinking that she had done a mistake. She stirred suddenly and sighed. Now, at that time, she just moved. Stirred means just a bit of movement. What's the matter? Asked her father. Another dream, see. The father just woke up and is telling, what happened, child? Did you have another dream? As she moved, father woke up and is asking her, the girl, that what's the problem? Did you have another dream? Oh, said the little girl, my head's on your heart. Now she had placed her head on father's heart. I can hear it going, and she is listening to the heartbeats of the father. What a big heart you have got, father dear. Now she is telling that, father, you have a really very big heart. So here we come to the end of the story. So now, after this time, the girl never felt afraid of the father. The view of the father the girl had always imagined had changed due to just one circumstance that had happened, just one incident. And now the girl was not never afraid of the father, and she loved him much more than she loved him previously. So here we come to the end of the chapter, a very beautiful chapter. We will discuss the question answers in our next lecture. Thank you very much.